just want to give them a round of applause. Wow.
Great night of boxing.
It was always action.
Warriors.
Isaac Chamberlain.
He came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. This is the Ronaldinho of boxing.
Right now.
In that kind of sense.
If I start seeing Ben Whittaker start doing like the 1-2 step and doing cartwheels in the ring, then I'll get in there myself and say, Ben, cut it out.
That was a fight of the year candidate.
This rematch needs to be done straight away. You think that was good? You think you can do that against me? I'm saying, oh my God.
Yeah, no one likes a draw, but I just think that was a draw, and I want a rematch.
Yeah.
A cruiserweight triple threat match. It goes because
of the nose.
No, the nose doesn't go just because of the nose. Is that another quote that you've just made? We've been memes before. Let's just do it. Mouthpiece, the home of unfiltered boxing. Yes, people, welcome back to Mouthpiece. I am Savage Dan.
I am Miles Farron.
Chelsea drew, Arsenal drew.
Yeah,
let's not talk about football. Yeah, because we don't need to. We've got a lot to cover here.
Let's go.
Straight after the football, as it were, Bad Blood.
Yes.
Let's talk about that card. Wow. Wow. Where do I start? Where do we start?
Listen, do you want to just touch him from the weigh-in quickly? We just give it a quick.
Yeah, we do it quick. We did do a Mouthpiece live.
Yeah, we did. Going from the, we did a weigh-in. We took from some guy just crashed Ben Whittaker's press conference. Yeah. That's when I knew from then it was going to be that's when I knew it was going to be Bad Blood, because this guy came out of nowhere. We didn't know who he was. No one knew what he was about. He was just shouting at Ben Whittaker. So from there on, I just knew, this weekend is going to be...
It's going to be one of those cards.
It's going to be one of those cards, bro.
Ben Whittaker's... Anyway, look, let's just go straight to Sunday night.
Yeah. So
Easter, everyone's obviously had their Easter eggs and they've come to the O2 ready.
Yeah, everyone's had their dinner.
Let's go from the bottom to the top.
Let's go.
Babic versus Robinson.
Disney Drago.
That's how you should always start a card. That is how you should always start a card, with heavyweight drama or just some kind of drama.
Yeah.
It was a violent fight. Babic ended up getting the win, probably because he was just a little bit cuter.
Mm-hmm. A bit more sharp.
Anyway, Babic is quality.
Yeah,
Babic is quality.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. For Babic to be the cuter boxer.
It says a lot about the fight itself.
It says a lot about the fight itself.
Yeah.
It was one of those fights where the fans definitely won. Everybody who wouldn't have watched it live because maybe of the City match with Arsenal
would have watched
it back on YouTube and would have been like, whoa. It was just sanctioned violence. Exactly what we expected. Then we go into Callum Simpson.
Yes. It was a good fight, man.
Very good fight. He looked like he meant business. He said before.
He's going in there, yeah. He said he's overlooking his opponent. He said that.
Did he say he's overlooking him?
Yeah, he said he's overlooking his opponent.
Is that another quote that you've just made?
Callum said, I'm overlooking this opponent. And he said, I'm always overlooking my opponent. I'm looking for the pot of gold. He said that. He said
right. Someone clipped it up. Let's just see if that really exists.
Did Mbappe have a chance? Because really,
no.
Truly, you should...
he fought against Mbappe. And you'd expect... Well, I saw what Mbappe did in the World Cup final. And he did show up.
He did show up. Two finals he showed up.
This Mbappe was heavily dominated.
Yeah.
And stopped and beaten. And Callum Simpson looked very good doing it.
Very good, man. With that being said, though, Mbappe, a bit of credit to him, though. He has an awkward style, though. He does. He's very awkward. Even though Callum, he handled it, but it was a bit awkward. But at the same time, Callum got the job done, and now he's calling for Ben Whittaker. He told us personally.
Yeah, I mean, look, that fight, everyone's calling for Ben Whittaker. Let's have it right. But Callum was one of the people who said it early doors, maybe when no one really would have wanted that fight. He was just like, nope, I fancy Ben Whittaker at some point. He's obviously a big super middle. We had that chat with him off camera. So he doesn't struggle to make super middle at all. So there's no reason for him to go up to light heavy other than perhaps opportunities. But he says he wants to stay there, clean up the super middle weight division. I'm sure Zach Chelly's going to have a lot to say about that.
He was there. He was watching the fight.
Zach was there, obviously.
Yeah.
That fight is next. I think they had a bit of a back and forth straight after the stoppage. He looked out the ring. And I think they had a bit of a back and forth there.
Rightfully so.
But yeah, look, that is
more than likely the next fight.
Has to be the next fight.
Yeah, it has to be the next fight. He needs that step up. He needs that challenge now.
Then we get into Ben Whittaker.
Yes. Which was, first of all, let's talk about just quickly. The ring walk was very interesting, which I liked.
Yeah.
You went for a Naruto theme.
Yeah, but I'm not an anime man. I only really like Hajime no Ippo, and you don't know enough about anime to know about that one. That's an actual boxing anime.
Oh, okay.
It is. I think it's sponsored by Winning because in the actual cartoon, it is like Winning gloves. Like it says Winning on the glove.
Brand, okay, cool. But anyway, yeah.
Proper.
Good.
Yeah, Naruto theme
came out, had the dancers. It was good. It was very entertaining. Obviously, we're going to get entertainment from Ben Whittaker, but we're going to
pick up Carlton as well, because I'm sure Carlton came out as like, when I saw him walk into the ring,
his friend was wearing the Naruto thing as well. Yeah.
Is that Naruto? I thought it was Goku.
No, my bro.
What, with the blonde hair?
No, he had Naruto's the one with the band. He's got like a band on his head.
Oh,
that's Naruto. Goku, that's Super Saiyan.
I thought that was Goku.
Nah,
a blonde.
Nah. But you said the only blonde people was Gokus and Saiyans.
No, I'm just like, usually if I see the blonde spiky hair, I'm assuming
maybe he might do that next. Ben, do that next.
Goku
blonde
next.
Hair, blonde hair. Do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's Goku.
All
yeah,
right.
Come here. So, but anyway, yeah.
As far as the performance, it was. Let's be honest. It was a proper step up, because that is your Central Area champion. So it's the step up, but obviously Ben's gonna show the difference in levels. We're talking about an Olympian,
you could
silver medalist, and let's be honest again. He was disgusted with that silver medal.
Yeah, he was.
And he fought with an injury, etc., etc. We're talking about a born winner here, someone who wants to win at all times.
With that being said, though, Leon, I need to give him his flowers, though. Savage Dan, man.
He's a tough boy.
Tough. He took some ferocious shots that night, and he shrugged them off to some degree.
Yeah,
he shrugged them off.
He was like,
he started off slow though, and I think that was the occasion. I think everything around him, the lights, everybody. Yeah. His corner screaming at him.
Yeah.
So I think it was the occasion. Then eventually when it got to like round 4, he got some glory.
He started to land some shots of his own.
Some good overhand rights.
And it's exactly. It's not what a doctor ordered, but it's one of those ones where people have always wondered, what happens with that style when he does get hit clean? And he did get hit clean a couple of times, and looked happy. Not happy about it, but
like I've got a challenge.
Yeah, just like, I like this. Almost like he welcomed the fact that Leon is skillful in himself, and
he's good.
Maybe not enough was made in the build up of how skillful he actually is. Because he likes to fight with his hands down sometimes, and he's a bit of a reflex fighter as well. So it presented a well-welcomed challenge for Ben, which obviously he never looked at any point like even losing a round. If anything, he lost two
rounds.
Oh, I think on scorecards maybe it was close, but for me, he only lost moments, like 10-second moments in a fight.
But most rounds
obviously,
he dominate.
Look, this is how we're gonna score fights, or how people score fights. When you expect somebody to obliterate somebody, and then the other person does maybe better than you expected.
Yeah, it stays in it longer. Yeah.
In your mind, you give them rounds that maybe you wouldn't even give them, just because you're doing better than I expected.
Also, he was on short notice as well, Leon, man.
Yeah, he was.
It was like 2 weeks notice.
But I think he fought quite recently, so he's going to be
But at the same time...
Still. Look, you can have... Here's the thing about fighting Ben Whittaker. This is what I'll say. Whether you have 2 weeks notice or 2 years notice, you might not be ready anyway. As long as you're fit, you've got... That's maybe the best you can do, because that is a style that you can't really train for.
No.
You don't know what version Ben Whittaker is going to be, because... He doesn't know until he steps between the ropes, and he's just like, actually, I can play around here, or I fancy it, or...
So is there two ways of looking at it on Leon's aspect of where, okay, I've got 2 weeks to fight Ben Whittaker, maybe this is the best way to do it so I don't overthink it, or would his team be thinking if we had more time to plan, they could have got more joy out of the fight?
I think everyone will say, obviously more preparation is best in terms of fitness and the rest of it, and just being able to study and have a look at certain triggers and create habits. But in general, there's very little you can do about. I can watch tape of Neymar all day long if I want. I know what I can't do it. When he drops the shoulder,
you're done.
I'm done. Well, maybe not me. I've still got my ACLs. Your knees might go.
But yeah, great fight, man. Ben Whittaker got the job done. Yeah, it's done what he was meant to do.
What do you make of the showboating? I personally love it.
I don't mind. It's your signature move. Imagine every don't want to bring it back to footballer just quickly. Imagine every footballer just played football and just passed the move. And
like Cattermole, like Lee Cattermole.
Like Cattermole. But we don't. But we love the Ronaldinhos.
Exactly.
We love them. We love the Ben Whittakers. We love the.
It's gonna.
How can I forget?
Mbappe?
Forget Mbappe, the boxer, man. I forget his name, man.
Oh, Emmanuel Augustus.
Yeah.
Showboaters. Yeah, you're struggling.
No, he's gone up my head.
Who?
He jumps over the ring, man. Chris Eubanks was not even Chris Eubanks. Prince Nazim. Yeah, Prince Nazim. No, Eubanks was a showboater.
Yeah, he is. But it's a different. It's a different. We're talking this is the Ronaldinho of boxing.
Right now.
In that kind of sense. It is split in opinions because you're going to see a lot of people say, "Oh, it is. It's not sportsmanlike." And it's not gentlemanly, and it's a gentleman sport, and I do get that. However,
to some degree,
most people, and I'm talking 99.9% of people, cannot do this. So they don't even have the option of, if I wanted to do this, I would. They can't do that. It's not in their locker. Ben, he does it almost as second nature.
Yeah.
And it's part of him. I wouldn't change that for anything. I remember seeing him do it as an amateur in the Olympics and blah, blah, blah. Just like, this guy's special. Of course he's special. Do you see what I'm saying? Of course that he's going to do it. He's one of the only people that can do it. But obviously there are a lot of people saying... I'm seeing... I saw today... I think it was either a Kazakh or one of the Uzbeks in the Olympic qualifiers doing the same thing. Got a point deducted. There is a thing
there's a thin line.
It's really thin. That thin line is razor thin.
Yeah. If I start seeing Ben Whittaker start doing like the 1-2 step and doing cartwheels in the ring, then I'll get in there myself and say, Ben, cut it out. But at the same time, I'll tell him, Ben, come on, let's have some respect.
1-2 step, that's nothing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if he goes in there and does a full dance routine in there and he starts punching,
obviously,
you don't want to do that. But at the same time,
maybe you want to revisit. I wouldn't.
I don't mind it.
We'll take it back to football again because we're both football men as well as boxing men.
Yeah.
When you get that special player and he has that thing where he can go past players himself. You don't always tell him just move the ball first time. And yes, it might be a little bit frustrating because it might not come off every time. But you don't take the magic out of that.
Nah, you don't.
You don't. Just leave the magic.
The magic. And
that's it.
He's brought new eyes and new fans to the sport
you know what?
Boxing,
like, you're someone who's gone viral. I'm someone who's gone viral.
A few times.
We've been memes before. His viral has gained him 1 million followers.
And more eyes on
that man. Yeah. Let him do what he's doing. He's doing just fine.
Because if he stops doing it, then all the 1 million followers that came to see him entertain to some degree.
That's it.
Oh, what are you doing?
The proof's in the pudding.
Yeah. But there'll be a time and a place where he's gonna just have to box and might not be able to do all that. But we'll see, man. Up until that time.
Yeah.
Show them. Showboat.
Co-main, chief support, Florian Marku, Chris Congo.
Great.
What a fight. That was bad blood.
Bad blood.
That was the build-up that had the most animosity. The Albanians were in there.
Yeah.
Full of support. But Chris Congo put on a kind of a masterclass.
He did.
And if I'm totally honest, he needed to. Because he was at a point where if he loses... I'm not going to say he becomes part of the Who Needs You club, but he's a tough night's work and a very good fighter.
Yeah.
But if you don't need to fight him, you won't fight him.
Yeah.
But now he's got... That will be his... Maybe not on paper, but that will be his most credible win. And it was a tough night. Florian was marching onto him.
Yeah.
And it looked at times as though maybe Florian was going to close the gap and get closer, but he managed to just perform. He looked sharp, he looked fit, and he looked confident as the rounds went on, which is maybe something that before you can say his body language changed as fights went on. He always starts well. I expect him to start well, but as fights go, into the later rounds, he does sometimes, always once or twice, begin to fade, albeit against Eko Esserman, who's just an engine.
I just want to say, I look down the lens right now and say, Chris Congo, I'm going to be completely honest. I thought he was going to lose this fight and not get knocked out, but I thought it would have been a bit too much for him in the later rounds. I had respect for him before. He's gained a fan.
There you go.
I'm actually a fan because what he done, like you said, what he showed in the later rounds, it was a masterclass.
Yeah.
He used his jab. He boxed behind his jab. Perfect. It was great because Marku, because 9 times out of 10, everyone he's going to fight, he's going to be the smaller man. Yeah. So he knows how to close down space. He's been doing it his whole life.
Yeah.
But the way how Chris kept him at bay at certain times of the fight, it was class, man. And there was times we were speaking about it. Is he going to be able to mix it up with him? Because there's going to be a time he's going to have to mix it up.
Yeah.
And he was there. He didn't move.
It was a quality fight.
I
haven't spoken to either man since. But it's a fight that they both were on a collision course for probably a while.
I don't really think it... Sorry, Dan. I don't really think it damages Marku as much as it would.
So.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think Florian Marku has... I'm not going to say a unique selling point, but... his fans are going to go everywhere. It doesn't matter. And you know, setbacks are just for getbacks.
Yeah.
And hopefully this maybe shows him something that he can improve on, because Congo, for me, looked an improved fighter after a loss to Echo Esserman, and maybe that he's gone back to the drawing board and you work on things. And whilst you're winning, you can paper over cracks. And as soon as you lose, you're like, all right, cool. This that. Yeah. So a very good fight, and then obviously
great win, man. Great
top of the bill.
So where does he go from here, Chris Congo?
I don't know. I've got people. I've had that question today actually, and I'm just ignoring it because I actually don't know.
But he's put himself in conversations now.
Very good. A very good pool at 147 here and abroad. So. It's an interesting one.
It's very interesting. But yeah, good
top of the
Chris,
bill.
man.
Let's go straight to the top of the bill, and I just want to give them a round of applause. Wow,
great night of boxing.
That for me is one of the best. It probably is the best heavyweight British fight I've watched ever live.
Oh wow!
I'm saying it like I haven't watched that many live.
Yeah, exactly. It goes into this could go down as top 10. This is one of the ages.
I'm gonna throw this into my top 10 fights I've seen live, maybe top 5. And I'm not great at top 5s and top 10s because everyone says. Yeah. And by the way, I've changed my mind on that.
Oh, you're backpedaling now.
I'm just changing my mind, aren't I?
Oh, okay.
You know what Muhammad Ali said? If you don't change your mind, then you never had a mind to change.
Facts.
I've changed my mind. Mike Tyson, you are now inside my top 10.
Are you gonna put your right hand up and say the famous 2 words?
My bad.
Okay.
My bad. That's inside my top 10 heavyweights in history. At the cost of Joe Frazier.
That's fine.
Anyways.
But yeah, let's go back to Wardley and Clarke.
Wow. Where do we start? Let's
I know you start. It was one of those type of nights.
Yeah.
First of all, big up both those guys. Warriors. Absolute warriors. They put on a great spectacle, not even for the people in the arena, but all around the world.
Yeah.
It was a great advert for boxing, especially for heavyweight boxing. People's been saying heavyweight boxing hasn't been the greatest lately. That was a great fight. I was surprised how fast they both started.
It was a fast start, especially for Frazier.
Yeah. Normally, like they see first couple of rounds, you want to see each other out, feel how it's going. They started off quick, especially Wardley.
Well, I think Frazier had the faster start.
I think Wardley was throwing bangs from the first round.
Yeah, but I don't think he was landing them early doors.
But even just to throw them is just like
he weren't having. But I think that's because Frazier came and put him under a lot of pressure with that jab early doors.
Yeah, early door. Yeah.
Did the nose? I'm not sure what round the nose went in.
I saw throughout the whole week he had 2.
No, he has an issue with his nose anyway before the fight.
Okay.
But the nose, whether it broke or whatever it was, but he had blood streaming down.
Yeah.
And it was obviously going to affect his breathing or his whatever it was.
Vision,
and then the eyes started to go eventually as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't just go. That's not how fighting works. It goes because
of the nose.
No, it goes. It does. The nose doesn't go just because of the nose. It goes because Frazier Clarke is landing on that nose.
Yeah, he's jabbing the nose.
And honestly, I thought it was a really good start. And at early points, it looked comfortable for Frazier.
Yes.
But what Fabio has, that willingness to go to the well.
Yeah.
Some people can only go there once in a fight, maybe twice, so you get a second wind. If you catch a third wind, you're lucky. He went there several times.
Yeah,
there were times where Fabio looked
down and out,
finished,
and
he found something. That's got to be from white collar. It has to be. It's like from the depths of Tartarus, he finds something. He's on his feet, out on his feet, and then boom, an onslaught.
He just
5-6 shots out of nowhere.
It's crazy.
5 seconds ago, it looked like maybe he was feeling sorry for himself a little bit, and then boom.
Bam, yeah. But I think that played into Clarke's mind sometimes, because I felt like Clarke could have just offloaded on him.
I think,
and he just thought, I know I might walk onto one here if I. Do
you know what's weird?
Yeah, it was
like when you're in there. I can barely remember it. You'll never know. But when you're in there,
don't say it like that. I've had a few fights, but just not in a ring.
You can almost feel not just energy. You can feel like spirit in there. It's weird. So like, when somebody is ready to leave it all in there. So it's like, it's almost as if Clarke had him in a position where it looks like maybe I can finish him here. But I know there's more. I can feel that he's got one more left. I can't put my foot down. Either because, obviously, Fraser's knackered as well.
Yeah,
of course he is. But maybe he's thinking, I can't risk this because in around 3 seconds, he's going to press R2. And like,
the haymaker. And if it lands,
that's it.
But with that being said, they both landed both haymakers on both of them.
Big
None
shots.
of them dropped.
But obviously, Fabio is the bigger puncher. He had Fraser Clarke down.
It was a weird down because obviously he did the mandatory 8 count. When he got up, obviously when you just get knocked down, you feel a bit groggy. Someone they're offloading you. Okay, I can get him out of there. He just went back to normal. It's as if
Fraser
Clarke, when he went down.
No, but Fraser Clarke, you're not understanding the significance of when he went down. It was the most beautiful timing for him. Because the first thing I did, we've got a monitor right in front of us.
Yeah, I see.
I looked down and I saw there was 11 seconds left. So I thought, okay, he makes it. Pretty much as soon as he got knocked down, it was like a barrage of shots that put him down.
Yeah. It was a flurry.
And he was down, but obviously a little bit discombobulated.
Yeah.
Gets up and he has a minute now to collect himself, and he did just that. He collected himself.
Yeah.
It was just a proper back and forth fight. I think I said it here. I hope I said it here, but it kind of went similar to how I expected it to be. I felt like all the quiet moments of the fight where it's just normal boxing happening and it's jabs and it's quite measured.
Yeah.
I expected Clarke to dominate those, and every time it explodes into action, I expected Fraser to have the better of those exchanges, and it was just that. But I expected there to be more quiet moments than there were loud moments.
But it was more loud.
It just happens it was around 50-50.
Yeah.
It was loud 50% of the time. It was always action. Great shots landed by both. They both showed like ridiculous grit and determination. And
I was more impressed live. Like, obviously I was there live, seeing Wardley's boxing skill. Obviously we all know that Fraser was the Olympian and he has the better boxer, they would say. But Wardley he's a very good boxer live as well, man.
So look, sometimes we get a decision and everyone's just like, I don't like, especially with draws. Like, no one likes a draw.
The ref.
I don't like draws. For me, that was a draw.
Nah.
What do you think?
Nah. I can't stop thinking about that point deduction from the low blow.
Okay. All right. I didn't like that either.
It.
Just because
I
think it was a second offence. So I thought that was a bit early to have a point taken away. But what I've done...
There was no warning then.
What I've done is made it so he probably would have got that point taken off at some point anyway, because the gum shield kept coming out.
You can't.
Yes, you can. Yeah, but that's the rule. You can get disqualified for that.
But if you knock it out of my mouth...
but I think there were times where...
There was one time he did spit it out.
There was a couple of clever timing.
Yeah.
Cleverly timed.
To the corner.
Yeah. And that's
tactics
just,
though.
It's know-how. It's being around, knowing when you need the extra 10 seconds.
Of course.
And I'm taking the extra 10 seconds. So in my head, yes, he didn't deserve a point deduction for that one. But I think over the course of the fight, you probably would have taken one off him anyway.
No, but you can't do that, Dan.
You can't, but that's how I've done it. It's like
football. I should have given him a yellow card for this foul, but this foul's not really a yellow card, but I'm going to give it to you because...
It's humans.
Yeah, but that's not...
It's humans.
He didn't give him no warning. He gave him no warning. Nothing whatsoever. It just was one point.
I actually
Fabio kind of made a bit of a meal of it as well at the same time.
Eventually that does tell... It makes a difference in the fight, of course. But this fight for me was... I think that round where Fraser got a point deducted, I gave him that round anyway.
Okay.
So I had that as a 9-9. not a 10-8.
Okay.
So that is going to be a big difference on a lot of people's cards.
I think that I had that as a 10-8.
I had Frazier winning the fight by 1 point. But then and then Isaac Chamberlain comes round, and all of a sudden he's saying, nope, Fabio by 1 round. And at that point, I've realised, you know, this is probably a draw. And then it was a draw. Yeah.
But I think Clarke did. He ended the fight well.
He did.
So that's what I think kind of eluded the rest
I just think no one likes a draw, but I just think that was a draw, and I want a rematch.
Yeah, no one likes a draw, but the spectacle that they gave us and the fight that they gave us, I don't think anybody was disappointed of the draw. I don't feel like anybody felt like anybody got robbed.
Nobody's going to go away thinking robbery.
Yeah,
Nobody.
Yeah. It wasn't
That's what
robbery.
we want.
Nah, yeah.
That's what we want. One judge saw it one way, the other judge saw it the other way.
Yeah. They should both be proud.
And the other judge saw it as a draw. And now, where do we go? Because for me, that was a fight of the year candidate. Probably will end up being fight of the year. I know we're only in March or April now,
especially in a British perspective.
Mate, this is one of the best fights I've ever seen live.
It was.
I want to see, and it's inconclusive. We didn't end up with a conclusion. I think we should get the rematch.
Listen, this rematch needs to be done straight away.
Yeah,
it needs to be done straight away. The fans, we just came back off of seeing one of the best British fights of all time.
Yeah,
and let's just get it straight.
Yeah, we didn't get a conclusive argument. Sorry, not argument. We didn't get a conclusive decision. And the fans won. When they both walked into the bar after, there was huge, like, their stocks of both of their stock have risen.
The respect for each other has risen. It's this. Let's just tonight we didn't see who was the best man, but the next fight we should definitely see who's the better man. You got the better edge.
Interesting. It will be interesting to see what Fabio's next move is. I think the rematch makes just too much sense. There'll be too much demand for it.
Yeah.
Frazier has covered himself in glory. So has Fabio, because they've both shown that it wasn't just skill. Yeah. That was like grit. That was toughness. That was heart. That was everything. That was everything. If you could show a fight to somebody who is, you know, just entering the sport, you say, watch that.
Yeah.
And that's why you should like boxing.
Yeah.
Great fight. And you know what? I make a joke of saying trilogy. That's a trilogy fight. But this could be one of those fights. Every now and then you get a dance partner and
it's just,
when it's not conclusive, you've got to keep doing it until it was. Marquez fought Pacquiao 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times, yeah.
So,
4 times.
And Morales, Barrera. If it is that close, sometimes you get a person who your career is very closely tied to. And we could just have one of those here. Where it's just like, no, we need to see Clarke, Wardley 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Or Wardley, Clarke 2.
Yeah, it's going to happen. And like you said, and if we get the same conclusion again in the second fight, might be a trilogy. But either way, it's going to be a great fight the second round, the second time round. Both of them, I don't think both of them are disappointed, but I think both of them at times in their mind will be gutted.
Of course.
Because they know I could have finished him and he could have finished him. Yeah, so
that's it.
That's it.
That's the beauty of it. I've never seen a bigger need for a rematch without controversy. So controversy usually says rematch, and we're now going to get the Catterall Taylor fight. This one is without controversy. All the controversy was in the ring.
Yeah,
like all the action was in the ring. They were this close to winning it, both of them. So we've got to run it back.
Yeah, he's definitely got to run it back.
This is my call. Listen, I don't know how to start petitions, but if I could start one, like I would start one. This honestly, it's just such a great fight. I feel privileged to have watched that one ringside.
Yeah, definitely. I feel privileged as well. You know who missed, right?
What?
Our good friend, he was here with us.
Vidal,
right?
I was saving him for last.
Oh, you was?
I was saving him for last.
Fair enough.
I was saying, yeah.
Go. Oh, okay.
What? Do you know why I was gonna say that? Because that turned into a bit of a fracas after.
Yeah. So we could,
Vidal Riley obviously beat Mikel Lawal, points decision, fought comfortably, sensibly,
very
and you have to be like that with a big puncher like Mikel Lawal. Wow. There wasn't, I think it was 99, 91 or 92, 98 on one of the judges' scorecards. It was a conclusive victory.
Yeah, it was.
But the one person who wasn't happy with that performance just so happens to be Isaac Chamberlain.
He came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Couldn't wait to take the mic out of the commentator's hand. He said, no. You think that was good? You think you can do that against me? I'm saying, oh my God.
I couldn't believe. The worst thing is, for me, God. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me. But I went to the toilet just at that moment. So obviously the fight's finished. They've just announced it. Just as they're going to do interviews, I'm like, this is my chance to nip to the toilet and come back. As I come back, someone says to me, did you see the Vidal fight? I said, yeah. It was a shutout. And they said, no.
Outside the ring.
Outside.
It was a hardcore match.
And Chef Clarke. It was a triple threat match. A cruiserweight triple threat match. Now, I like that because you might have seen it. We've tried to make the Vidal Riley versus Isaac Chamberlain fight. Isaac says that was a trash performance. Vidal says you cried
when I beat this.
You beat this man. So
great comeback, by the way. That was funny.
Oh, that was clever. It was clever. But it makes for a good build up, and there you go. You know, there's more bad blood, and there's a fight there that can be made if he doesn't go the C-Slack route. And I really think that's a fight that would capture people's imaginations.
More than the C-Slack fight.
Let's just do it.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Do you know what?
This is the fight that everybody wants to see.
I just think sometimes, particularly when you're in your 30s and whatever it is, just get the best fights made because there's no guarantee. Boxing is one of those weird sports where you try and plan something for 18 months down the line and it just doesn't come to fruition. Whilst it's there, do it.
Yeah.
But someone who does have time on their hands is Adam Azim.
Yes. And
he gets in the ring yesterday with Harlem Eubank, and I like Harlem. I've known Harlem for a bit. It's a really good fight. If it gets made, it's not announced, but it looks like it's on the cusp. And as soon as you see them in the ring together, it makes a lot of sense, especially the McGuigan and the Eubank rivalry.
That's what I love.
Now we can.
That's what I love. That's what I love. It's like we had our war, McGuigan and Eubank. Now your fighter versus my fighter. It's a psychological one now. It's a different war between them two.
And I can't remember exactly what Chris Eubank Senior said. But he said something about he comes from the same testicular. He said something he that was just box office.
Yeah, he said basically he fights like Sugar Ray Leonard, but he's got the Eubank heart, the fight, the warrior.
It's a great fight.
And McGregor looked at him like all right, cool. Well,
I'll tell you what is interesting about that. A lot of people will have noticed. Dalton Smith was right there.
Yeah, he was.
Obviously in support of Florian Marku. He probably didn't see this coming.
No.
So it would have been a shock
to him.
But look, this is what I'm gonna say, and I'm speaking on behalf of me, but I'm also speaking on behalf of Boxer here when I say this. That Dalton Smith Adam Azim fight is inevitable at some point. If you ask me, it's a fight that everyone wants. I just think we just want it at the right time.
Yeah. Therefore.
And I just think it makes a lot of sense commercially. Yes, it's not Chris Eubank Jr. he's fighting, and it's certainly not Chris Eubank Senior, but that Eubank name is such a big thing.
Yeah,
I think it's a good fight.
Yeah, like Adam Azim said, it was like this. You've got a strong name, but I'm looking to build my family name as well. So it's a good fight. It's a great fight. It's a good fight. Adam Azim's got a big following. Eubank's obviously his name is his name, and obviously he's his own person. He wants to prove that as well to the world. Like I am a Eubank. I'm a certified Eubank myself. Not who else better to fight Adam Azim, a superstar prospect.
I like the fight, and as everybody probably has said online, they want the Dalton Smith fight, and I want that fight as well.
Yeah,
I think everyone wants
timing,
that. I think it gets made at some point, but I think it gets made when the timing suits both of them.
Yeah.
What else has happened in boxing recently? Pitbull beat. Oh wait, before we go, Pitbull and Rolly, Savannah Marshall.
It's crossing over, right?
It is another crossover fight. No, wait. It is her MMA debut.
Yeah.
I know you don't like. Why is your face like that? I think it's great considering Claressa Shields just did her one.
Yeah.
So do we get a Claressa Shields Savannah Marshall 2 without Queensberry rules? So now you can kick an elbow and do all of that other stuff. Do we get it? I hope so.
It would be good to see. It'd be good to see who's got the most heart, I guess. I don't know.
But I thought you're an MMA guy.
I like MMA, but I'm more of a boxing guy than MMA over anything. But I don't. Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's a trilogy. You know me. I'm gonna call trilogies.
Yeah, but what's the third
can.
fight? They get into what?
No.
WrestleMania.
No, back on Sky Sports. Back on a boxer card.
Yeah, please. Yeah, let's come back to boxer Sky Sports.
Yeah, Savannah Marshall, wishing you all the best in your MMA debut.
Yep.
She is a born fighter, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
And she's got long levers, and trust me, she's just one of those people who can pick up anything. Yeah. So I guarantee she's definitely a half decent wrestler by now.
Are you gonna watch? Are you gonna be tuned in?
Of course I am.
So am I. 100%.
Yeah.
But I'll just
get the win. Let's see what happens between Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall, and we'll see you back.
Yeah, come back home
on a boxer card.
Yeah, come back.
Isaac Cruz. Is it Isaac Cruz? It is Isaac Cruz. Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull Cruz. I like calling him Pitbull Cruz, but it's Pitbull Cruz.
Yeah, Pitbull Cruz. Okay, all right.
Pitbull Cruz versus Rolly Romero.
Onslaught.
Yeah. Isaac Cruz wanted it more.
Yeah.
He wants a belt. He hadn't had a belt before. He's come up to 140. Me personally, I think he picked the easiest opponent out of all the rest of the champions, out of Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, and I can't remember the Cuban's name off the top of my head right now. I think he picked the easier opponent. Obviously, he was his mandatory. Rolly Romero, I don't know. He's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. And I think what's happened to Rolly Romero now is because he came into boxing late, I think he's starting to show that he came.
It's not even just that.
I don't think he's
because top fighters who've come into boxing late. I think he's so in love with his power.
Yeah, but Dan, when he's fought those elite boxers that has fought more amateur, has fought since they've been kids, he's come up short.
Yeah, but he's also not very cute, and unfortunately, at 135, 140, whatever weight it is,
you have to be.
You have to be pretty cute. You don't have to be because he's obviously done well enough.
But more boxers, more time are.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you're not the cute one in there, and you're not, as sharp as the others, you better have something else. And his is a punch.
Punch man.
You have to be able to land it. And sometimes the lack of cuteness stops you from being able to land that big right hand.
I'm happy for Pitbull Cruz. He deserves a good fight. He gave
Davis.
Yeah, Gervonta Davis a great fight. Some people said that Cruz won that fight. Some people are saying it's 50-50. But and then obviously we know that Davis beat Rolly Romero. So yeah, good win for him. 140 is heating up. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Right. I feel like that is it for today. Let us know. Do you want to see the rematch, Fraser Clarke against Fabio Wardley 2?
I do.
Will you be watching Savannah Marshall as she gets into the cage?
I will.
A new discipline.
Big discipline.
We're going to be back next week with maybe a more debatey conversation. There's no point trying to fit one into today.
Nah.
But that is it for us this week. Next stop, Cardiff, world titles. After that, May 24, Poland, world titles, Lawrence Okoli. And then we've got an announcement coming soon, hopefully. Won't give it away just yet, but it's coming. We'll see you next week. Say bye, Mars.
See you later, my people.